If you ride long enough, you'll realize there's an unwritten rule book among motorcyclists, and violating it won't get you a ticket, but it will get you judged. Hard. Because riding isn't just about your machine. It's about how you behave with other riders, around other riders, and even in front of people who don't ride at all. And if you're new, here's the harsh truth. Nobody cares if you just passed your test. If you ride like a clueless jackass, you're gonna be treated like one. Etiquette isn't some old-fashioned relic. It's what keeps rides flowing smooth, friendships intact, and your reputation out of the toilet. From group riding dynamics to solo courtesy habits, there's a code. And if you don't follow it, everyone notices. So let's go over the 12 rules all new riders need to learn before you make enemies out of the very people who should be your crew. Number 1. Wave back, unless you can't. This one's simple. If another rider waves at you, wave back. It's not a legally binding contract, it's just manners. The motorcycle wave is like a tribal nod, a silent, mutual acknowledgement that says, "Hey, I see you, you're one of us." Now, if your hands are busy clutching mid-corner, fighting wind, or braking in heavy traffic, don't panic. Nobody expects you to risk control just to return a wave. A simple head nod works fine. But if you're cruising along straight and easy with both hands on the bars and just ignore the wave, you're either a snob, distracted, or just don't get it. None of those are a good look. This isn't about being nice. It's about showing you're not a self-centered idiot who thinks the road revolves around you. That split-second gesture builds a sense of community, and honestly, it feels good. Some people claim it's silly or outdated. Those are usually the same guys who only ride to the coffee shop. Respect on two wheels isn't automatic. You earn it. So if someone throws you a wave, toss one back. Unless your bike's on fire or you're mid-wheelie, you got no excuse. Etiquette starts with the smallest things. This is one of them. Number 2. Don't rev your engine to say hello. You're not a dog. Don't bark for attention. Revving your engine in a parking lot or at a red light doesn't say hello. It says, "I crave validation." And yet, every weekend meetup, some dude in a straight-piped cruiser or clapped-out sport bike thinks he's performing a public service by rattling eardrums. Here's the thing. Real riders don't need to announce their presence with noise. If you want to get someone's attention, use your mouth, or your hand, or your kickstand if you're trying to impress them with something practical. But holding the throttle wide open while everyone's standing around, it just makes people want to move away from you. It's not just annoying, it's dangerous in traffic. Rev bombing next to cars or pedestrians makes them flinch, which can lead to panic moves, swerves, or just pure hatred towards bikers. That's not the reputation we need. Also, if your bike is already loud, what exactly are you trying to prove? That it still runs? Congratulations, so does my lawnmower. Revving in someone's ear doesn't make you part of the group. It makes you the guy everyone hopes rides off first. If you want respect from fellow riders, keep the noise for the road, not the sidewalk. Number 3. Staggered formation on group rides. There's a reason staggered formation exists. And no, it's not just to look cool in GoPro footage. It's about spacing. Side by side might feel tight and unified, but it leaves zero room for dodging potholes or reacting to sudden stops. One rider taps the brakes, and now you got two helmets kissing at 60 miles an hour. Not ideal. On the flip side, riding single file all the time creates too much distance and makes the group stretch out like a sad parade. You lose cohesion, get split by cars, and it becomes harder to manage group pace and turns. That's why staggered is the golden rule. One rider on the left, next on the right, 3 seconds apart diagonally. Gives you space, visibility, and a safety cushion without looking like confused ducks trying to cross the street. But here's the catch. It only works if everyone sticks to it. If one guy suddenly switches lanes without warning or drifts side to side like he's drunk, the whole formation breaks down. Now it's chaos. If you're new, watch the rider ahead of you and keep the stagger. Don't try to invent your own pattern. You're not a trailblazer, you're part of a pack. Learn the rhythm. Ride the rhythm. Don't ruin it. Number 4. Don't tailgate other riders. If you're riding 2 feet behind someone's license plate, congratulations. You just turned your buddy into your front brake. Tailgating on a motorcycle is more than just rude. It's dangerous in every possible way. One twitch from the rider ahead, maybe they dodge a pothole or brake for a squirrel, and you're eating their exhaust followed by the rear fender. Bikes don't have crumple zones. You'll go from riding to ragdoll in half a second. And here's the thing, motorcycles stop fast, like way faster than cars. If you're not leaving a proper gap, you won't have time to react. Even worse, you might push them into traffic or force them to make a bad move trying to avoid you. Plus, it's just annoying. Having someone breathing down your neck while you're trying to enjoy a ride turns the whole experience into a stress fest. You're not impressing anyone by hovering in their blind spot or riding up their ass. In a group ride, spacing is what keeps the group tight but safe. Want to pass? Signal and do it clean. Otherwise, stay back. You're not Valentino Rossi on a hot lap. You're part of a rolling ecosystem. Respect the bubble, or be the reason the group stops for road rash. Number 5. Don't park too close to another bike. Motorcycle parking isn't a Tetris game. You don't need to squeeze in like it's the last chopper out of Vietnam. Always leave enough room for the other rider to get on, lift their bike upright, and roll out without playing bumper bikes. When you park too close, especially mirror to mirror, it's not just inconsiderate, it's awkward. Imagine trying to swing your leg over the seat only to kick someone's handlebar or bump their mirror out of alignment. Now they've got to readjust everything because you parked like it was a bar fight for space. This is especially true in hot weather or on sloped pavement. Bikes can shift slightly when the kickstand sinks or someone brushes by. Give them room to breathe. A little space avoids a lot of scratches. If you're not sure how much space to leave, just imagine how you'd feel if you had to squeeze out with a 600-pound bike next to a stranger's pride and joy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just be aware. Think of parking like sharing a bench. Comfortably close, but not thigh to thigh unless you know each other real well. Number 6. Use hand signals when riding in groups. Not everyone in a group ride has a Bluetooth comm system or knows how to shut up on one. That's where good old-fashioned hand signals come in. They're simple, reliable, and don't run out of battery halfway through a canyon. If you're leading, this is non-negotiable. You need to signal stops, turns, hazards, and formation changes clearly. A lazy wave or vague point doesn't help anyone. Use full, confident gesture. If you're in the pack, pass the signals back. It's not just polite, it's how the last rider knows what's coming before it hits them. Don't overcomplicate things either. You don't need military-level choreography. Just learn the basics. Left, right, slow down, stop, single file staggered, and hazard on the road. That's it. That's the language. Riding in a group should feel coordinated, not chaotic. There's nothing worse than a pack ride where nobody knows what the hell's going on because one guy at the front assumes everyone's psychic. The more you use hand signals, the smoother everything feels. You look like you know what you're doing, and you make the whole ride safer without saying a word. Which is ideal because, let's be honest, most group comms are just wind noise and bad jokes anyway. Number 7. Help a stranded rider if you can. There's an unspoken rule among riders. If someone's broken down on the side of the road, you check in. You don't need to be a mechanic, a hero, or even particularly helpful. Just pulling over and asking, "You good?" is enough to remind them they're not invisible. Sometimes they'll wave you off, already on the phone or waiting for a friend, but sometimes that quick stop makes all the difference. Maybe they just need a tool, a jump, or to borrow a phone with signal. Or maybe they're sitting on a dead bike overheating in full gear, hoping someone gives a damn. Now, obviously, use common sense. If it's a dangerous spot or you're not comfortable stopping, it's okay to keep going. But at least slow down and give them a thumbs up or a nod. If they don't give one back, that's your cue to find a safe place to loop around, call it in. The point is this. This is more than just a hobby. It's a community. And when you're 200 miles from home with a busted chain or flat tire, you'll pray someone else lives by that same rule. Because Karma rides motorcycles too, and she carries a torque wrench. Number 8. No sudden lane swerves in group rides. When you're riding solo, you can get away with last-second decisions. But in a group, you're not just riding your bike, you're influencing everyone behind you. A sudden lane change might seem harmless, but it can trigger a domino effect of panic braking, near misses, or worse. Remember, not everyone in the group sees what you see. That open gap you darted into, someone in the back might miss the cue entirely and swerve late. And if the pack's tight, one lazy flick of the bars can force 3 riders to slam on their brakes or veer into danger. If you need to change lanes, do it right. Signal early, check your mirrors, move smoothly. You're not in a race. You're trying to keep the group safe and together. And if you're not leading the ride, definitely don't start making unilateral lane changes. That's how rides fall apart fast. Doesn't make you look skilled, it makes you look unpredictable. And the guy who crashed behind you? His GoPro footage is going on Reddit titled, "This Idiot Ruined Our Ride." So be cool, ride smart, and treat group rides like choreography, not bumper cars at a gas station carnival. Number 9. Turn off high beams in traffic or at stops. Yes, visibility matters. No, you don't need to blind half the planet to be seen. Riding with high beams on during the day might feel like you're increasing safety, but in traffic or at a stoplight, it's just annoying, especially for the person sitting in front of you with your sun laser beaming into their mirrors. Worse, it can be dangerous. If you're in a group ride or behind another biker, your high beam makes it hard for them to check their mirrors, judge distance, or even see lane changes clearly. And at night, forget about it. You're cooking their retinas while convincing every oncoming driver to hate motorcycles. Flipping off your high beam at stops is like holding the door for someone. It's basic courtesy. A little gesture that keeps things smooth and makes sure you're not that guy. Most bikes let you toggle beams with a thumb flick. If yours doesn't, consider switching to a modulated light or keeping a close eye on your toggle habits. You want to be noticed on the road, not remembered as the guy who blinded a family sedan at every intersection. Good lighting is smart. Weaponized lighting is just obnoxious. Number 10. Keep group speeds realistic. It's easy to get carried away when the road opens up and the group is flowing. But if half your crew is struggling to keep up or white-knuckling every corner just to avoid getting left behind, you're not leading a ride, you're hosting a stress test. Group rides only work when the pace is inclusive. That doesn't mean crawling along at parade speed, but it does mean reading the room. If you've got newer riders in the pack, they shouldn't feel like they're constantly chasing or apologizing for being slow. You don't know what other riders are dealing with. Maybe it's a heavier bike, weaker brakes, less confidence, or just a bad day. And when people push themselves beyond their comfort zone just to stay with the group, that's when mistakes happen. Overshooting turns, late braking, target fixation. It's all linked to pressure and panic. The best riders aren't the fastest. They're the ones who know how to adapt their pace to keep everyone safe and smiling. That means checking mirrors, pulling over when needed, and having maturity to dial it back when the group dynamic calls for it. If you want to go full throttle, do it solo. When you're with others, lead like someone who wants to finish the ride with all their friends intact. Number 11. Don't lecture other riders unless asked. Yes, you've done your research. Yes, your gear is top-notch. And yes, you probably know more than the guy in sneakers and a tank top. But unless he specifically asked for your opinion, maybe don't open with a TED Talk on abrasion resistance. There's a fine line between helping and preaching. New riders already feel the pressure to fit in, and nothing kills the vibe faster than unsolicited advice from the self-appointed gear police. If someone's doing something outright dangerous, like riding on bald tires or with a loose helmet strap, sure, step in. But keep it short, helpful, and chill. Better yet, lead by example. People are far more likely to listen when they admire how you ride, not how you scold. Share your experiences. Mention a crash you had or lesson you learned the hard way. That sticks way better than, "You're doing it wrong." Remember, the goal isn't to win debates in the parking lot. It's to keep the community tight, respectful, and safe. Save the lectures for YouTube comment sections. On the road, be someone others want to ride with, not someone they avoid at gas stops. Number 12. Acknowledge roadside hazards for riders behind you. One of the easiest ways to be a great group rider is also one of the most overlooked. Just point at the damn pothole. Whether it's gravel, a dead animal, fresh tar snakes, or a rogue hubcap, the rider behind you can't react to what they can't see. A quick foot wiggle or hand gesture is all it takes to pass the message down the line and potentially save someone's collarbone. It's simple, it's respectful, and it shows you're not just thinking about your own ride. You don't need to play traffic cop. You're not expected to identify every piece of debris like you're hosting a roadside nature documentary. Just call out the big stuff. If you'd flinch hitting it, let someone know. This is how you build trust in a group. When people know you're looking out for them, the whole ride feels smoother, safer, and more relaxed. Plus, it works both ways. Next time you miss something sketchy, someone else's signal might save your day. Group riding isn't about being fast or flashy. It's about riding as a unit, and units communicate. So do your part, throw the signal, and keep everyone rolling upright. That's the thing about motorcycle etiquette. Nobody hands you a rule book, but everyone notices when you break it. These aren't laws. They're the unspoken codes that separate a clueless rider from a respected one. And once you start following them, you realize they're not just about being polite. They actually make the ride safer, smoother, and way more enjoyable for everyone around you. So if you're new to riding, take the time to learn the culture, not just the controls. And if you've been riding a while, maybe give yourself a quick audit. We all forget sometimes. If this video helped, or called out one of your riding buddies, hit that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense motorcycle wisdom, and share it with someone who really needs to stop rev bombing in the parking lot. Ride safe, ride smart, and ride like someone's watching. Because we are.